Hey everybody, here DXUN, and this one is going to be about the latest PTS patch that just went live. Not went live on the PTS, that is. And it's going to cover a couple other things as well. So we're going to start. The first thing I'm going to start with is the costume designer. So let's go back to the game. Well, there we go. So here it is. The custom designer is right here, and overall, I mean, it's not the hardest thing to do, and I was expecting that they would do just that. I mean, I wasn't. Some people were saying, "Oh, you'll be able to modify the gear itself," and I was like, "No fucking way! This is not going to happen like that. It's going to be something where you can put a shell so that you can look like something else, but it's not going to allow you to modify items themselves." I just didn't think it was going to go that far. And I guess I was right on that one. You can go all the way up, all the way down, or all the way up. You know, it's the 16 different outfits. So right now you can't buy the last one, or you couldn't in the last version of PTS. Let's see. It still doesn't allow you right now. Probably a PTS bug, but again, that will be hopefully fixed. And they range. I can't remember where they start at for pricing for the first tab. But by the end, it's all 500k for the last few. So it's pretty expensive to unlock. And then once you've unlocked a tab, let's say this tab here, every single one of the slots that are here, there's 7, they all are worth, I think it's 14k each. I don't remember on top of my head. I think it came down to 98k. I think it was costing per tab to unlock all the slots that are in here, on top of the price to unlock the actual tab, which again, if it's 500k, 598k total to unlock everything for that particular tab. But obviously the lower ones, the first few, are pretty cheap, so it's going to be still somewhat affordable. Maybe not for a brand new guy leveling, but as you are leveling, you'll get some tabs that you can unlock pretty easily. The system is actually pretty simple. For those that are worried about color mods, it's working just like the old system that we're used to, where you can singly pick certain slots to have certain colors and then vice others, or you can use also the make everything look like the chess piece. Like that hasn't changed at all, so that will not be affected with it. And as you saw when I showed you that, for example, this shell, right? Then this is the one that I'm actually dressed up as. I also hid my helmet, that's why you don't see it. If let's say let's go check to another skin. I don't know if I think they actually removed all my other skins and just defaulted to one of them. Looks like it, because I had some different ones. Let's go back to the top. Yeah, all the slots are also they're not unlocked right now, so all the stuff that I unlocked is all gone. But that's PTS. It's all good. It's normal. Again, you can use the corruption as well. You can use you can show or not your ad slot. Here it gives you a total status. It says I have 15 outfits unlocked out of 16, and then currently I selected outfit 1, and I'm also applying 1. So here, if I go here, that'll say that I have 2 selected, yet I have applied 1. If I want to apply 2, which I am on tab 2, all I gotta do is click apply, and that's the one I'm gonna look like. Here you go. So I look like that. It's that simple. And then you have the currently equipped gear, which is where your actual gear is, like your stat gear. Now, the biggest problem with this whole thing is exactly just that. I don't know, again, to me, they always seem to mess up on one thing that's critical that should have been there. Like it kind of is like, if you're working on that kind of thing, why the hell don't you go and do the little things right so that you don't get the comments that we're saying now, which is, why the fuck there's not 2 gear sets? There's 16 goddamn tabs for outfits, and you can't give me a second gear stat fucking set, so that if, let's say, I'm a guardian and I'm DPS and my tank, for whatever reason, decides I'm sick, I have to go, well, guess what? I can step up because I have a tanking gear set, clink, change my gear set, change my spec, good to go. 2 seconds. Instead, I have to go through all my gear and start moving pieces all over. It just takes time in a raid where you just want to get going and you don't want to spend, you know, a half an hour just because the guy is trying to set himself properly for the encounter. And obviously, as you go through harder encounters like hard modes, nightmare, and all that stuff, the last thing you want to do is go in there and, oh shit, I forgot this, oh shit, I forgot that, oh shit, and then you start wiping and it costs you even more time, and it's just overall really bad. When you could have just taken the extra time that it takes to make a nice little tab and copy and paste the first tab basically design to the second tab, and then, oh my god, it's so awesome. Now our guys are able to actually switch sets. Also, if you're just a DPS or like a Marauder, well, depending on what you're gonna do, let's say you decide to go concentration spec, well, you can have a concentration build as far as your gear set, and then you can have one for Watchman, because Watchman is more dot spec, and then concentration is more in your face straight up damage. Well, guess what, if you at least have two, you can make two sets and switch in the flicker like that, then a lot of people will be more inclined to switching before encounters to make sure that they're because it's going to be quick. They know it's going to take 2 seconds for them to do it. If it takes forever, then it's not conducive to that. It just makes people say, ah, fuck this. By the time the leader will start the fight before I even get that all turned around. And then on top of that part being unfriendly anyway, because you have to switch all the abilities so that it makes sense and all that stuff in your bars. You also gotta respec your disciplines, which again, why can't we have a discipline tree that saves itself? This is all the little things here that should have been there to begin with from a long time ago, and then you're gonna go kind of back into that area with the outfit designer, and I was really hoping that they would actually go in there at the same time and make the complete package proper deal, and then we get everything that we needed. Instead, we get the outfit designer. Again, I'm not shitting on that. It's what I wanted for a long ass time, because I'm sick and tired of wearing Bion Legacy gear and not be able to look the way actually I want to. Now I'll be able to do both, and I like that, and it's great. But again, if you're gonna go there, why can't you give us the little things that we need on top of that? You know. So that's basically it for the image designer. But again, it's a big miss with that here. And again, if this, at least you have a separate tab to reset just that part, when can that be savable and not change unless you want it to change, and you just reset it? But if you don't want to change it, it stays the same. It doesn't matter. If I want to abandon this tree, who gives a fuck? This stays the same no matter what. It's the same boxes. Sure, if you're going tank, more than likely you're going to want to change some. If you're DPS, chances are you might want to keep them both. Why can't they make another example? Why can't they make like 3? You can save 2 or 3 sets. You save one set that's tanking for you, one set that, well, actually you call it, okay, you can actually give it a name. Okay, I'm going to call it tanking set. And then as soon as you actually are going to tank, you go to check your sets of disciplines, click tanking set, fluke, switch, done. Okay, now I have to go to tanking spec. I want to go to my tank spec, and then I want it. This one doesn't really require anything because we don't have the trees anymore. But as soon as you pick that, it should set up your bars exactly the way you had them when you were tanked last. Then you don't have to move fuck all. Everything's been moved in the right spots, and especially for the primary bar. But then again, they could actually do it for everything. It's almost as if this game, the developers refuse to check other games and what they do and how they do things. It's almost as if they just want to figure out a way to make it cool on their own. And the problem with that is, sure, it can be great, but it also can be like, man, I can't believe you guys didn't do this and do that. And then it just, I don't know. They can't keep doing this. You gotta look at other people. And if they had looked just at WildStar, in this case, for that part here, WildStar had it in spades. Like, all the UI and all that stuff was pretty awesome. And again, we're not even talking about specking and all that stuff. It was amazing. You were a healer, you wanted to be a DPS, it took literally 2 seconds, bam, you're set, you're gone. WoW does it fairly well as well, where you can just switch like flick of a switch, change gear set, change spec. Okay, good to go, guys. Like, that's what they need to do in this game, on top of what they did there with the designer. And again, the gear sets, that one is definitely image designer / costume designer, that thing related, but the other ones are up there as things that are absolutely needed for us to like, just to make things faster, like, you know, overall. Anyways, so that's it for image designer. Okay, so also they are changing the gearing up system for when you're leveling. So in your supply section, all the vendors on the outer ring over here are all the gear vendors. There used to be planetary vendors where you would have, like, okay, here's the Tatooine vendor, and basically you would go where the highest higher level vendor is, or the closest one to your level, I should say. Now what they did is they changed that. There's no more planets associated with them, and what they've done is they basically, when you target, it tells you level 7 equipment vendor. So you know, if you're level 7, okay, well, I'm going to go to that guy and I'm going to buy equipment, or those are the first few. They are only equipment, but then eventually there's a modification vendor. All the mods, enhancement, armoring, barrels, health, everything now is 2 comms per. And all the quests that you're going to do, the class quests that you're going to do, are going to reward, they can reward up to 8 basic comms. I assume there's still a choice between 8 comms and a piece of gear, but who will pick the piece of gear when you can get between a green piece of gear or a fucking 8 comms? 8 comms, if you just listen to what I just said, guaranteed 1 item of your choosing, fully upgraded to your level, that is blue, not green. So, like, unless you really don't want to go back to the fleet, there's really no reason to not pick up comms now. Also, if you do a tactical flashpoint between 10 and 54, you are awarded 20 basic comms for doing that, which is amazing. So there's not going to be any more whining about people not being geared up properly. And also kind of leads up to what Potato and SWTOR Miner were kind of saying, which is the return of 12-time XP, because that was one of the biggest problems with 12-time XP, is that people were getting, people that were not set up properly were just going straight up as a character, and it's the only character they have no help whatsoever. It was making it really difficult for those people because they just didn't have the setup in place to deal with how fast you're leveling, and very little people like going back and doing heroics and stuff like that to get comms, and so that didn't quite work the way they wanted. So now this actually sounds like a decent idea, where the guys are going to somewhat be able to keep up the gearing with the gearing process, I should say. And again, they go all the way up to 53, I believe, or 55, all the way at the other end, and all of them show again 2 basic comms for every part. Doesn't matter. No more. I think it was costing 8 for armorings, hilts, and barrels. Now they all cost 2. Also, from what I checked so far, the pieces of gear, actual gear, seem to be costing more. So I don't know why you would actually pick them now. Because let's say there's a saber in there, it'll cost you 8 when you can build it for 6. So I don't know what the logic was behind that, but like, they might as well just kill all the vendors, the equipment vendors, unless you absolutely want the skin for costume designing and stuff. And actually, it doesn't even work for weapons. It would be for the costumes, I guess, the armor. They also changed the thing where it didn't allow you to use a shell of a different armor type. If, let's say, you use light armor only, if you pick an heavy piece of armor, you couldn't actually use it to make yourself look that way, and that was, again, really stupid. But in this case, they were actually pretty quick to fix that, so good on them, because that, again, was really stupid, considering that all the armor that's on the collection is adaptive. Then obviously what looks like a, let's say Shave Isla's set is definitely an heavy armor set as far as that's concerned. But again, it's adaptable, so everybody could use it. So if everybody can use what looks like an heavy armor set, then why the fuck can't we just make it so that every piece of armor, doesn't matter if it's been tagged with an armor type, works for that part. Obviously, you still won't be able to use it as far as your gearing set or your currently equipped gear set, I should say. So, but again, that was a pretty good pickup on that one because that was pretty bad. So again, gearing up system seems like it's really good, especially for 12 time XP players. If it's not, then I guess it's gonna still be nice because it always felt like you had to pick between your companion or yourself to gear up. Now with that, you're not gonna have to pick anybody. You're gonna be able to fully update everybody after every planet and so on, especially if you have to do every quest. Hey Belzar. So that's good for that. Okay, so comms, I said that. Yep. Ziost. I went there. The story continues. I'm not gonna spoil anything. All I'm gonna say is the story is getting better and better. I really enjoyed it. Really looking forward to what's going to be coming in the second half of Ziost, if there is such thing. Also, really liked the questing as well. The questing was really fluent. There was no like always going back to the quest giver and all that. No, it was just you were going through and there was a quest there. You picked it up and updated. I mean, that's one thing that I think there should be more of. It's freaking Star Wars. We have data pads and shit. Like, clink, clink, clink. Like, everything should be done via fucking, like, comms or data pads and stuff. It shouldn't fucking be like, you have to go walk all the way back to Jackass over there. Like, no, like, it's boring. Especially in an environment where there's no leveling involved. Like, not that you would want that anyway, but again, just, like, keep it simple. Don't mess something that works very well, which that did it for me anyway. Really nice flow to it, good quest stories. Some of the quests actually reminded me a little bit of HK51 when you're inside the ship, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I like that. Like, I don't like knowing what to do right away all the time. I like it when there's sometimes you actually have to look what's going on around you, and I also like it when not everything is actually all glowy blue so you see everything. Like, as long as it's doable and if it requires me to look up or down or beside me and stuff, I'm all for it. But yeah, that was pretty good. Ziost. The last thing I'm going to mention is part of the new patch notes they just released, and I'm hoping to God that this is a typo, because if it's not, it's really not a good idea. And it's related to the boss skills and operations. So here what they say is for level 55 operation, when you go in Terra from Beyond, right, 16 man story mode, every bosses will drop 1 ultimate comm. If you do hard mode, every boss will drop 2 ultimate comms, and if you do nightmare, every boss will drop 3. Now, if you go into, and the same thing applies to Red Forest, Red Palace, in the story and hard mode. They don't have nightmare mode in there. So again, now that itself, sure, whatever. But when you go to level, that's where it gets really stupid. Is at level 60 operations. If you do a 16-man story, right, which is the same. Okay, so again, 16-man story for level 60, which is your Ravagers and your TOS, or you do your 16-man story Terra from Beyond. You again, every kill gives you 1 ultimate in that. If you do the Ravagers story mode 16-man, what do you get? You get 10 elite comms. What is the problem with that? You tell me. To me, do I want elite comms or do I want ultimates? If you don't know, elites are the blue ones, ultimates are the purple ones. So the best one are the ultimates. So why, for the same level, same level, I mean same difficulty level, but level 60, I get the fucking blue shit while the other one gets the fucking purple? Like, I just don't understand. How does that actually work. I'm actually hoping that this is a mistake. But again, we have been getting elite comms from the level 60 operation. That wouldn't bother me so much if it was like, okay, if you do a 16-man, like maybe not hard mode, but nightmare, sure, maybe an elite comm there or two there, still fairly hard depending on which ones we're talking about. But you're talking about the same freaking level. Okay, well, SM for both, 16 man for both. One is level 60, the other one is level 55, but level 55 gets better fucking shit than the other one. I don't care about numbers. You can give me one ultimate per boss. I'd rather have one ultimate per boss than have 4 shitty elites. Like, I can't believe that we have to debate this. I'm hoping to God that this is a typo, but if it's not, it really is dumb as fuck. Okay, let's keep going. All the cooldowns for the Capital World, the Fleet Vanguard, Oricon, Outlaws, and all these places that you have to actually pay Cartel to unlock, they made it so there's no cooldowns anymore, and that's actually way the fuck overdue. There's nothing worse than paying from your own fucking pocket to unlock something that everybody thinks should be unlocked to begin with, but then it's not enough, you use it and then it's got a 4-hour cooldown. What the hell is that? No one wants that. So at least they finally woke up and did that for us. I know I've unlocked Rishi and Outlaws then quite a bit on a lot of them. Also Capital World, I think I did as well. Those I found were really useful and they were not that expensive. I think it was 200k credits to unlock them, so I just unlocked them anyway. So that wasn't too bad, but that was long overdue. The Legacy Fleet Pass, that didn't bother me too much because I was a level 50 Legacy and never really... I can understand though why for new people this would be horrible, that they really needed to shrink the time for it to come back up. I mean, now that I have it instantaneous, anytime I want it, I wouldn't go any other way. But I can also remember back in the day when we started where it was ridiculous. I think it was 20 some hours or something like that. It was just ridiculous. They're also going to do something with quick travel, and now quick travel for us, I think for me right now is about 10 minutes, I think, or something like that. I can't remember on top of my head, but now it's going to be moved where if you have all your shit unlocked through your legacy, it's going to fall to instantaneous, no delays. So as soon as you use it, you can use it again. So I think that's great. They're also making it so that let's say you've unlocked all the flight paths on one planet. When you go on another alt, as soon as you unlock one flight path, all the flight paths are unlocked at once. So again, a really good move there. That's kind of neat because some of the flight paths are so fucked up anyway. Especially one that comes to mind is Balmora. Oh my god, that place was so horrible for that. Now you just go to right down from the town there in what is it, Sobrik, I think, for Imperials. And then bam, all the flight paths are available. That will be amazing. It'll go a long way for leveling. We'll make it a lot faster. Not that it's not fast already as it is, but again, really good move on their part. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? Let's see. Well, this one is a little weird too. They the group finder rewards for the weekly missions. So they changed a couple of those. I'm not sure I agree with it, but anyways, story mode. Any story mode that you do from 10 to 54, right? If you do the weekly, it's going to award you 20 basic comms. If you do the same thing, but for tacticals, it still awards you 20 basic comms. So I'm not sure I understand that logic. But anyway, you would think tactical would be a little less, considering it's much easier than the other, but it's not a big deal because it's a weekly, at least. Anyways, they did a bunch of other changes as well. I'm not going to go in, at length with the class balances and stuff. It's always something they try to do, but yeah. Also, the weeklies for Terra from Beyond, Dread Fortress, Scum and Villainy, and Dread Palace, they all require you now to kill the last boss. So there's no more killing operator, whatever. I can't remember which number it is. In DF or the other bosses that are not the last boss. So from now on, you'll have to go all the way down to kill the last boss to get the credit for the weekly. I think for those it's a good move. And also for the Zerka weekly, you won't need to actually complete both of the flashpoints to complete the weekly. They actually remove those out, and they're going to add a heroic 2+2 mission to it, and then that's it. And I think it's a great move, because having to do these flashpoints every single time to do a weekly was just a bit annoying. So overall, some good changes, but also some really like weird and awful stuff as well. So mixed bag, I guess, for me. Hopefully the comps per boss thing was a typo, and it's actually ultimates that we're getting. Although I would think the numbers are a little high for that. I'm hoping more that the bosses from the old raids will drop elite comms instead of ultimates. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and see you guys on the next one.